What's going on, everybody? It's been a long time. Um, Actually, it's been a very long time. Excuse me. Since I last posted, I think 4 or 5 months, whatever the case may be. Um, been a little busy with life. Last time, I think I was on a pretty long trip. Um, I had just gotten laid off, and I'm like, you know what? This might be my time, an opportunity to kind of travel and see some places that I didn't get a chance to see before. So that was nice. But yeah, it's been about 6 months almost now, and still no job. That's maybe like 2 or 3 interviews. One company had 2 interviews with them, and that went nowhere. This is the first time actually that I got rejected after a second interview. I know that for a lot of people that's pretty common, but I've never had that happen to me before personally. So that was quite an experience. Um, so yeah, it's almost about to be 6 months, and yeah, it's rough out there, man. The job market is terrible. I don't even know what else to say in regards to it. I thought it would get better than what it was back in like July, September. I was like, all right, um, summer's coming to an end. Maybe there'll be a little bit of hiring. Maybe I know Q4. There's all these like budget changeovers and whatnot, and acquisitions and mergers and all this blah 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 corporate, mumbo jumbo stuff going on. But it just went from like bad to worse, and clearly the stats also show that, although we all know that the stats are lying. um, Not lying, I'd just say they're kind of finessing the numbers a little bit, and the numbers don't really show the reality because of how the numbers and statistics when it comes to unemployment um, is determined. So we all know that the common person, you and I, sitting here, um, paying our bills and whatnot, our mortgages, our rents, and budgeting, trying, hopefully budgeting, right? Please do. We know that the unemployment rate is much higher than what they're saying, that it's hovering at what, 4.3% right now. But then those statistics again are based off of like a lot of factors. They're not counting people who are working. I think you only have to work like 1 hour in a 40-hour period to be not put on that unemployment list. Gig economy workers, which is another thing that's being affected right now. The gig economy is kind of taking a hit because besides like people with who are still doing okay right now, nobody's really spending money. What do they call that? K-shaped economy. So higher income people are still spending, and they're the ones kind of keeping us propped up, economically speaking, as a whole. But yeah, the average people are not doing as that well. Um, so, and then if you're past the 6 months, if I'm not mistaken, and your unemployment ends, you're not even on that list anymore because they're only calculating you based off who's collecting unemployment. So 6 months are over, like mine are about to be over. You're not getting unemployment anymore. It's a disaster, man. It's it's pretty bad. I mean, it could be worse, of course, right? 2008 was pretty bad. I was 18 at the time. I was kind of shielded from it. I mean, I knew that things were kind of crazy at that time, but I was a kid and I was joining the military. I was just about to enter, so I was in the program, waiting to ship out and whatnot. So my mind wasn't on that. I did 1 semester of college, and I was like, I'm going in. Went back to school, obviously college afterwards. Not that that matters anymore. Your degree doesn't will give us a crap. But yeah, I feel like it's the circumstances are different, but uh, yeah, it's bad, and you're kind of in this limbo state. Thankfully, I'm in not a bad situation, like compared to a lot of people. I've saved up a lot of money, and you know, just my wife's working, so there's that holding us over. Cutting out a lot of expenses, paid off my car a few months ago. Hopefully, we're like 20, $30,000 away from paying off this condo. So hopefully we get that taken care of by the end of the year. Then a lot of our big debt is pretty much out of the way, which is what people should be striving for, right? I know it's not the right time right now because everybody's in crisis saving mode and crisis mode right now, paycheck to paycheck. If they weren't before, they definitely are now. But yeah, if things do kind of open up for you, right? If you get a job, please like just keep budgeting like you're still don't have one, and put that money towards clearing your debts, credit card debt, mortgages, car, things that high expense debts, um, which right now are liabilities. But I mean, a car is not really an asset, but like you know, a house could be an asset as long as you're not struggling to pay it, and it's paid off. It's an asset. Right now, it's a liability. So you know, um, yeah, I don't know. Just wanted to kind of get back into this groove and update you guys that I feel you. I 100% feel this is the longest I've been unemployed. I have never been unemployed longer than besides while I was in school and stuff like you know uh, as a big boy wearing my big boy pants and post college. Um, no more than a month. I think the max I ever was unemployed was a month, and I was about to be 6. And I'm not getting any traction. Um, I have been applying for even like lower wage jobs, and I'm not even hearing back from them. Although that could have a lot maybe has to do with just the end of year and holidays, but we'll see come January. But that part of the economy is just not doing well. Not doing well. I was ripping into Trump a lot um, earlier when I first started doing these, but when I was really picking up on them in the summertime and a little bit before that in the spring. And a couple of updates on my perspective on all that. Um, Pros and cons. I always want to throw, you hate the guy, love the guy, whatever the case may be. Um, you know, I guess he's gotten inflation somewhat under control recently. Statistics showed, I had to do some more research on this, but statistics showed that it's hovering at like 2.7%. So something might be working in that regard. And gas prices are down. I look, I mean, I am all for sustainable energy, but I'm one man. I don't even really drive that much anymore. I live in the outskirts of Chicago. I try to use public transit, which has been, I could do a whole nother video on that. But, um, I just try to use public transit as much as possible. And gas prices are down, and that's good for a lot of people, I guess, somewhat. I don't know how grocery prices are doing. I guess I have to kind of look at that. I think those are still pretty high. But this unemployment, man, this growing unemployment rate, the number growing, and the lack of quality jobs, um, it's a real concern. And I just hope that that's something they're really focusing their attention to next. I know I wanted to give the administration like a little bit of a benefit of doubt. That doesn't mean I'm a fan. I'm just saying they are who they are, right? He is the president, and it is what it is. So the most the guy could do is kind of do well for us. So they said it was gonna be rocky in the beginning and then better later. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But you know, besides the fact that like the guy himself has a little bit of a ego and a little bit of an ego, but big ego. Um, I'm just basing this off not off his character, but off of like what's going on with the economy. So I don't know. We'll see. Something's got to happen. I was expecting maybe when the $100,000 fee, the H-1B thing fee that he introduced, the companies said the companies have to pay for every new H-1B worker. Would hopefully I was hoping that would have opened up jobs for Americans, but on the other end, there's the whole concept of like AI and offshoring in general. So I don't know if that was the greatest card to play in that game, because I don't know how much that really helped. Right, most of the H-1B jobs, if I might be wrong, are probably in the IT and software and tech sector. So that industry is being rattled by a whole plethora of factors, variables. So it's not just, oh, we can try to get H-1B folks out and give Americans the opportunity, when you're also dealing with like AI, those jobs just being, oh, well, he wants to charge us 100,000. Let's just like, you know, take these jobs that we could have been having, you know, team in India, Philippines, wherever doing it. Let's just send it over there now. This is the right time, because who wants to pay that? And you know, so I don't know. I'm done with that sector. I was in it for a little bit during COVID. I got into the software side and project management. I'm done with that. So yeah, just been contemplating potentially going back to school, maybe for something in the medical field. Let's see. Um, but yeah, I feel for you guys, man, especially you new grads. I mean, I have a resume with some experience, 15 years almost of experience, and I'm having a tough time. Unless you're in like a uh, cliche, niche cliche. That doesn't make sense. Niche market, as far as your job goes, like unless you're in a niche industry or category of employment, you're probably gonna have a rough time coming out of school. Um, so, and it's crazy that when they were pushing for all this stuff back in 2020 during the pandemic, that the tech sector is the way to go. Companies were incentivizing people to get into it because they were hiring a lot of people at the time, and it just they were just incentivizing it, like, hey, this is the way to do it. You want to work from home. There was a pandemic going on. People were afraid to go to work. They got into coding, tech. On the back end, they were working on this whole AI concept that, look, if it came out, like, what, OpenAI came out in 2022, right? Mid to end of 2022. So that means that AI had something they had been working on, probably maybe even right after the Great Recession, 2008 to 2010, right when the tech kind of companies came out of that and came out of that stronger. I'm sure they already had put that to work. And, you know, one side they're telling people to go to school for this, um, companies and colleges and universities. On the other end, uh, they're they were already working on implementing something that would make these jobs obsolete. It's fucking stupid. I mean, it's so bad, man. That's just crazy. That's such, what's the term? Manipulation, or just straight up like a spin in your face, you know? Oof, I actually spit there. But that's just like a slap in the face, man. And this is another reason why we gotta do some research, right? I mean, there are things that are tried and true and hopefully not going anywhere as far as their jobs go, but um, that alone, that example should show us that, you know, we really need to like spend time in researching and seeing the trajectory of things. Statistics make a big factor, a big factor. I mean, uh, great examples like The Big Short, right? Which I have to watch again for like the third time, but they had already calculated what was happening a year or two before it happened, right? Based on statistics and the trajectory of the market. So that's why they were able to short those. Somebody could probably correct me, hopefully, in the comments here. I like economics, but I'm not an economist. So something along those lines. They use data and statistics to show that. So I feel like in life we have to do that too. Like, all right, nobody saw this coming, but maybe some people did. I don't know, with AI and all that. So maybe some people already started reading between the lines and were like, oh shit, like this is gonna change the whole world soon. Maybe I shouldn't do this. But yeah, a lot to unpack there. But um, I don't know. We'll keep talking about these things, and hope you everybody enjoy your holiday season. Try not to stress out about any of this stuff. Enjoy your time with your family and friends. Tomorrow is not guaranteed, never is. So just take a breather, have some eggnog, watch some football, go Bears, just relax and just try not to think about it. We'll hit the ground running again in January. All right, guys.